is slicker than all get out. Um, in a lot of ways, it's kind of FT8-ish. I mean, not in the way it operates, but it has built-in frequencies. For example, on 20, it's 14105. That's the center frequency. It uses the 500 hertz wide, and it has five slots on either side of that calling frequency that are spaced at 750 hertz. So there's a little bit of space in between them. When you do a CQ, first thing it does is it says, what slot do you want to move to out of this out of this? And then when you select it, it has a button you can press that will temporarily change your radio, provided you got cat control, to that frequency just to let you listen to see if anybody's there. And if nobody's there, you go ahead and hit your CQ, hit the button. It will call out two CQs and then immediately QSY you to that slot. And you sit there and listen. And after 5 minutes, it goes back. It says, "Hey, nobody's bothered." So that's kind of interesting.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's it's
Uh,
some fairly automatic stuff there. Is it this
it,
here, the VAR-AC ham radio?
yep, there you go.
Okay.
It's a freebie. It sends out beacons every 15 minutes from your station, or you can ask it to do that. When you're in a QSO, it sits there and exchanges at no less than every 10 minutes. It exchanges your call signs with the signal report to cover the requirement that you have to identify, every 10 minutes. So it just does that automatically for you. Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
one to see.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. Very cool. I'll have to play around with this. So I'll have to maybe download it and try to get it working. Yeah, that sounds like some pretty cool stuff there. Let's see what did Jeff put in here. Um,
Interesting article, Jeff.
Yeah, I was kind of. It's funny. My granddaughter is uh, going to go do a wilderness AmeriCorps trail building thing this spring or summer, and we were thinking about what we might get her for, like an SOS Garmin communicator or something, and then suddenly this is here or will be here. Be pretty interesting to see how fast this rolls out and when it'll be available. And what a boon for wilderness rescue in Colorado.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'd heard. I think Apple supported some satellite communications or something. Or I wonder if it's kind of the same, similar kind of a thing, though. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think this will be brand
Oh, okay.
agnostic, or it'll be brand agnostic.
People have sat. I mean, sat phones have been around for ages,
Yeah,
right?
expensive.
Okay. So what's the
Very.
rules here?
I remember several years ago, the attorney for our authority, was an avid hunter. He and his son, and they would go do bow season every year. And he finally broke down. He was getting of an age where he decided to get a sat phone so he could call for an outfitter to come get his kill because he didn't want to have to haul it out.
Okay. So routes 911 calls over the. So did sat phones not typically cover 911 previously?
Well, you can't call 911 from a sat phone, I don't believe,
No.
Okay.
because there'd be no way of routing it to 911.
True. Yeah. Huh.
But they might have an emergency call center that you could ping, and then they would in turn
Right.
call the 911 center.
Good evening, Mr. Paul. Gwen.
Good evening.
How you guys doing?
Good,
Doing
thank you. How are
good.
you?
All right. Just checking in. It's been a while.
Sounds good. Good to see you. Yeah, it's a little quiet here this evening. Not too much going on at the moment.
Yeah.
Very cool. What else? I did start to stream on YouTube, so welcome anyone there. If you want to chat, go over to w0tx.org/chat. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet here so far. We haven't gotten too much here. Yeah, if you guys have anything else you want to talk about, I can bring up some other stories or anything else. We have plenty of time here, 40 minutes or so. Let's see.
I will show. Jeff, I showed Jerome, but let me show you my new toy.
Oh, yes.
Oh, very cool.
I'm going to try to do a little portable operation, not summits, but yeah, unless it's Mount Evans or Pikes Peak, where I can drive to the summit. Other than that, but new
Very cool.
705.
That's right, 705.
You do the 16th Street Mall.
I don't know if that counts as a parks on the air or not.
Well, there is a park. Was it that Skyline Park?
Oh, that's right.
Find a seat between the meth heads down there.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, none of the windows in the Masonic building open any longer, so I can't throw an antenna out of the window. So,
See, we don't have any connections down at the city and county building anymore. We used to get up on the roof there, with Denver Races and service antennas.
do they even have anything up on there any longer? That's
Boy, I don't got no idea. It's been so many years. One of my favorite stories is going down there. Was it Bill Sheffield? Was the Denver sheriff? I don't know if you remember him. He was one of the Races members, and we went down there one time with a work party, and I had this big red toolbox with a bunch of stuff in it, and it was on a weekend, and we go up, and they got the magnetometer set up, and a guy there, I think they had private security at that time, but he wants us to go through the magnetometer, so I hand him this toolbox, go through the magnetometer, and he hands it back to me. I could have had a bazooka in that thing, it's like security.
yeah.
What else? What did we talk about on our Learning Nets here recently? We don't use it for this, but I put a link in the chat here if you're ever interested, as long as we update it. A couple weeks ago, someone was asking about sailboat operations, putting antennas up on a sailboat, and how that would affect, or just the different types of metals on there. I can't remember exactly what we were talking about on that. Mobile operations. People are bringing forward what they were using in their mobile operations. A lot of 2 meter, 70 centimeter, some APRS. Pretty typical stuff there. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how you get an antenna on a sailboat. I mean, the mast, I believe, is metal. It's aluminum. And I don't know that it's necessarily insulated from the hull. I mean, the hull would be a great. Let's face it, you've got a reasonably good ground plane around you.
Yeah, what were we? A couple of things. I tuned out a little bit when they were talking about it, so I can't remember exactly. I know one of our other members, Alex Acera, also looked into this as well. What else?
We talking HF or we talking
I think it
VHF?
was HF, I believe. But yeah, I can't remember exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if anybody has any experience on that, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would work. I see what they did. That's clever. They put a sloper in.
Okay, that's what this one is here.
Yeah.
Let's see. 26-foot sailboat, putter, inland Pacific Northwest. Building an end-fed random wire. Their question was how HF antenna is impacted by close proximity to giant metal masts. And so this was their setup here, it looks like. Okay, so that is a sloper antenna, that red line there. Okay.
Well, it's the line that has the thing pointing to it by the feed point and ballon. It's come from the
Okay.
top of the mast to
Oh, I
the
see.
stern.
Okay. So they're using the rigging itself?
No,
It
they've
looks like-
they've added one.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Click that link that I put in there, Dora.
Yeah, let's see here. Let's see. Installing MF, HF. Wow, let's see.
I had a long conversation yesterday with a guy who has his master's license on ocean-going vessels, all classes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's the captain of a cargo ship.
Okay.
And he had pictures of his radio setup on board. Pretty reasonable. But he had something kind of similar to what you're showing, except obviously it was a little larger craft.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mentioned that. It seems like maritime operations and radio operations would go hand in hand. Not just ham radio, but yeah. Yeah, I don't have much to say to it. I wish I listened a little bit more. Let me see if I can maybe find that here real quick. That was from a few weeks ago. Maybe I can find the audio on that.
That's
What's
fine
that?
if you want to, but we can BS about something else. I want to know if Paul's got anything to say. He
Yeah,
joined us.
Paul.
He's being quiet.
Yeah, Paul, you got any projects you're working on, or any new equipment, or any new purchases, or anything you're working on, or yeah, let us know. All right, you are muted, Paul. If you do want to say something, don't hesitate to unmute at any given point.
Thanks. Yeah, for my part, haven't really had any time to work on any projects whatsoever. But I've
Gotcha.
thought about getting the because I picked up. Gosh, I don't even remember what the number is on the model. But anyway, the Yaesu HF radio, the kind of simple one. But to get that set up in the car, to actually go
Oh, nice.
mobile HF. But I haven't. I've gotten some parts that I'll need, like power cables, but and I have a magnet mount for some ham sticks on is it 10-20-40? I think I picked up.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I was wondering.
haven't gotten beyond the cookie sheet in the house.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
Yeah, HF
the
mobile.
window,
That's kind of
the
interesting.
window screen is magic. That actually works to do a quick ground plane to make it tunable.
Oh, okay, yeah, we did talk about that a few weeks ago. So the window screen on the ground itself. Yeah.
Yeah. That gives just enough. But but again, unfortunately, beyond that, I haven't gotten anywhere with that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. No worries. Okay. Yeah. What? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. What type of HF operations do you think they'll do mobile?
Oh, I have no idea. It would be. I haven't paid attention recently to any of the kind of sunspot news and what the projections are for how far to get. But
Oh,
But I think I'd like to, I'd be curious what I can eventually reach out to, what kind of distances. But then also, I think it would be cool to check into some of those nets that happen on some of the calling frequencies and stuff up there.
awesome. That'd be cool.
But otherwise, no particular intention. kind of hobby.
Gotcha.
You
Yeah.
guys may remember that my original reason for this was somewhat more emergency oriented. And that being part of the church, I might be in a position to be aware of more resources or be a natural gathering place. And so to be able to have communications, in the event that others were not available, that was kind of my first intention. So.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I know. How does the relationship work with, churches and radio work? I mean, I know that they've done a lot of AC broadcasting, but what about like emergency? Is there anything official within some of the religions or organizations?
I'd say no, but it is the kind of place, the kind of community where people are more accustomed to taking responsibility and looking out for each other and being kind of generous about that, not just about their own business head down. So I think you do find, a fair number of people who are kind of interested in, being able to help out.
Yeah.
Technically, the Salvation Army is a church.
That is
and
true.
They certainly have a wonderful net.
The Saturn group. That's right.
My video on.
That is a good point. Yeah, actually. Yeah, when we work with them directly, I'm surprised I didn't think about that. So okay, yeah, but it seems like it would definitely go hand in hand with community outreach and things like that, and emergency preparedness during emergencies. If people are going to be gathering around those places anyway, you might have some sort of communication system.
And I don't think anybody had that kind of stuff there, but one of our churches down in Florida was part of the Hurricane Ian response, because they were on a relatively high point close to a highway that was mostly open when, or dry at least, when other highways were flooded or, a lot of debris and just impassable. So they became a place where the helicopter evacuations were dropping people off there. The National Guard was staging, and, they became a distribution point for a lot of stuff just because they had a big parking lot and it was high and dry by at least a couple feet there.
That would make sense.
But so, that stuff kind of happens, but then, what was the infrastructure to communicate and coordinate stuff there? Did somebody have to show up with a radio who was from an emergency management system?
Right.
And establish communications there, apart from what they might have been able to muster on their own. Anyway.
Very cool.
But we're downtown, so we have almost no local resource at my particular church here to be able to offer in any kind of situation.
Oh, really? Okay.
Other than being somewhat of a landmark that's, people are used to having an open door there. But beyond that, we don't have anything to offer.
Hey, good evening, Tom. Thanks for joining us here.
Hey, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Well, I did.
I'll just hang out. I'll just hang out while you're chatting.
Yeah,
here. It sounds like fun.
Good. All right. Paul, I think you did mention at some point you wanted to be a part of our website admin team or anything like that. Do you still have any interest in that by chance?
I have interest, but not too much availability. So I've been watching the developments of the site switch and stuff. I don't know that I have really many credentials yet if I needed to step in or something, but yeah, I'd say I'm still interested in being in the loop.
Okay. I'll find your email because we do have admin credentials for you set up. And if you're ever interested, on one of the Thursdays, we have the tech committee where we talk about the website and other things. So I'll make sure that you have that just in case you want that. Yeah.
Certainly. Yeah, the hard thing for me Thursdays, I think you guys are at 6 for that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I have a standing commitment every Thursday, and I have to, make an exception to be able to make one of those meetings. At least in part. Sometimes I'm free by 6:15, but yeah.
No worries. Well, yeah, we can always use some more help, but yeah, we've been making some pretty good progress on our site, so pretty happy about that.
Good. And I haven't looked at all at the the task list to see if there's something that was ready for me to jump into. So
yeah, we've had some project management software. We're mostly working on our memberships, making sure people can sign up for pay for their memberships on the website. That's the biggest thing right now. Apart from that, there's just some smaller things here and there, so nothing too crazy.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Well, thanks for joining us here. Yeah, we have 20 minutes. Thanks, Kevin, for joining here as well. Good to see you there.
Kevin does a lot of phone, I notice.
Oh, phone voice work?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How could you tell that? Or
His QRZ page.
oh, gotcha. That's right.
I'm sneaking around doing these things.
Well, why don't you get out and do some POTA?
I've already shown it twice. Third time, guess what? Coda.
Well, good, then we know who to go to for an expert when we do our DRC Saturday with a POTA activation.
Oh, no. No. No expert here.
Are you an active hunter?
No, sir. I am a rag chewer supreme. And mostly
Nothing wrong with that.
keyboard to keyboard. That's what I really like.
Oh,
Except
keyboard to keyboard.
Oh, then you would really like the Vara chat app, Vara C.
We were just talking about
discussing
that,
that just
20
earlier.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. It brings back to me the fun of PSK without having to try to figure out what was being said as the signal drops below the noise.
Amen to that. And I installed it 3 days ago, and I have over 20 QSOs. So, yep.
No, it's great. It's really good. Oh, there's your meeting thing. What is VARC? You betcha.
Yep.
It's
absolutely.
and they've done some just nice development with it. The modem, which is independent of the application, is really well done as well. My only little bug, and I put in a feature request to try to get cat control for the multi-mode FM rigs that are out there, like the 9700 or such, and somebody just came back and said, no, we're not going to do it. It's like, well, why not? There's a lot of 9700s out there. They would like to be able to have automatic control of the frequency for changing Vera FM spaces for, like, especially for WinLink and such like that. But anyway.
Well, I've been using FL Rig.
Yeah, I use FL Rig as well. That's kind of what drives my my 847, because I could not get it to directly talk through the Vera C cat menus, but FL Rig worked wonderfully.
I use FL Rig for FL Digi, for WS.
Well, no,
WJ, yeah.
it works out. It does work really well because it very natively talks. There are some issues apparently. Oh, and I'm able to get with Vera a 7300 that our club has to talk directly. However, it forces the 7300 into filter 2, which makes no sense at all. Why does it care? But it does. And so I ended up, what radio is that you're looking at?
It's a YouTube.
It's a YouTube
England,
video. Okay, that's fine. But anyway, so I just cheated. I just made the filter 2 be what the width I wanted, and just ignored it.
The only thing that I get frustrated with is I use N3 FJP, I think is the logger. And Vara insists upon filling out the comments line with QSO with Vara AC.
Which
And
is not what normally happens when you download an address on N3FJP. It gives you the address of the name and address of the station.
And you can't, if you go back and say, hey, fill in the blanks, it won't do it if there's anything in the comments field. So in order to get the address, which I'd like to have, I have to go in and delete the QSO with Vara comment on each one of those things. And once I delete it, then I can say go fill it and it'll do its thing. The other thing that drives me nuts is our dear friends Logbook of the World. They don't accept RHF.
Whoa! Well, somebody needs to make a request there.
Well, the ADIF has said yes, it's official. You're fine. Go for it. And Logbook of the World just doesn't want to do it.
Of course, everything with Logbook of the World is in the spelling of things. I know in logging satellite QSOs, if you do not have the satellite name spelt exactly the way it is in the Logbook of the World satellite database, it kicks it out, doesn't know what it is. Because unfortunately, there are several different names sometimes for the same satellite. So you got to get the right one.
I am really looking forward to tonight because I have never done satellite. So,
and I've been digging around. I changed computers last summer, and I was positive that I copied over a couple of videos that just of me in the field doing satellite stuff, and I can't find them. So I have that. Yeah, this has been a weird night. I came up, opened up Zoom, and it didn't see my camera here, my webcam. And so I had to go into Device Manager and disable my other two cameras on the HP laptop in order to be able to make this viewable. Just everything's kind of been happening.
Yep. I understand entirely. The PC I had for the ham station behind me there was it was an old enough generation it wouldn't go to Windows 11, which meant that I was going to lose security support in a couple of years.
Yep.
And the one that I happen to be on right now is one generation too old for Windows 11.
Oh, yep, because it has to do with that security in the BIOS that Windows 11 wants to have.
Well, actually, this one has that security, the TSQ thing, but there's something else that Microsoft doesn't like. So I've been busy replacing PCs all over the place and trying to get things copied off. And I don't ever want to do that again. On the other hand, I do have a nice clean installation of all the FLDigi and FLAMP and all the good stuff.
Nice. My Logbook of the World certificate was about to expire here recently, so I had to go through renewal on that. And thankfully, I had like an actual backup to import to renew it because their process is a little funky. So I'm glad on that.
Yes, sir, it is. And I see we've been joined by Jerry and Ron. I don't think I want to call it. Oh, it is Sparky.
Can I do one thing here? I want to test that I can click that my presentation is going to show up here.
Let's please do that. Absolutely.
Where did it go? Hold on here.
Hi, good evening, Bob. Everyone here.
Because this is a different Zoom. Present now. Turn on captioning.
We are on w0tx.org/meet.
On tab, Windows. Oh, there we go. This is a little. I haven't. There. Should see my screen up.
Yes, sir. We do see that. Yep.
Amen.
Yes, no, you do?
Yep.
Yes. Last couple of months, we've been having some issues with people presenting, so I'm glad to see that.
I got to try to get out of here.
Well, they can see you now, just your face. So.
Oh, you just see my face? Okay.
Yep. At this
Yeah,
moment.
there it is. Let me go back to here and start the presentation again.
Jeff, that's what I bought.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I bought one of these. I've been having a lot of fun with it.
That's what's sitting right there. Exactly.
I'm going to go grab something. I'll be back.
I was kind of dismayed because I had some incredible fan noise out of it, and I had to upgrade the BIOS to get rid of the fan noise.
I don't have any noise at all.
Yeah,
maybe I got to do our BIOS.
Yeah. I kind of had to dig to find the patch.
That's the one problem with the Geek OM is that they don't have a lot of support available. Yep.
But it's a cool little unit.
Oh, it does a beautiful job. I did get the i7. I didn't get the i5.
Quite a lot of specs in a little box there. Pretty cool.
Yeah, my main computer for work is a Lenovo laptop, and I use a desktop as a backup.
Very cool. Yeah, not bad pricing, yeah.
Couple that with TikTok, and I can be surveilled continuously by the Chinese.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing you have to be careful about, I found out, is if you have the Logitech, the more recent Logitech mice keyboard combo with the receiver, you may need to move the receiver away from that little PC. There's enough RFI around it can interfere.
Yeah, so far mine have been working perfectly. It works great.
The symptom is that your mouse or keyboard becomes unresponsive. And by golly, we got more people coming in, so maybe I ought to shut up and let Daron ask if anybody has any questions.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for everyone joining here. About 10 people here. We have another 10 minutes or so. Good evening, everyone. Marshall, Ron, Tom, if you all have anything, let us know.
I need to know how to change my name on this thing.
You can, if you join in a private window, if you're not signed in to Google, it will let you put your own name. If you're signed in to Google, you have to change basically your Google name to be your call sign. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. No worries. Well, 10 minutes. Tom will probably test his share here in a moment again. What else? I can bring up a story here. Let's see. I'll just share this one story and we'll probably call it there, and we'll have the meeting starting here in a moment. Let me share my screen. Article written over on hackaday.com. Just the most recent article I looked at here. The hunt for alien radio signals began sooner than you think, written by Lewin Day on the 20th of March today. Every 26 months, Earth and Mars come tantalizingly close by virtue of their relative orbits. The closest they've been in recent memory was a mere 55.7 million kilometers, a proximity not seen in 60,000 years when it happened in 2003. However, they've been paying close attention to Mars for longer than that. All the way back to 1924, astronomers and scientists were contemplating another close flyby from the red planet. When radio then being the hot new technology on the block, the question was raised, should we be listening for transmissions from from fellows over on Mars? Let's see how long this is. A little bit of a lengthy read here. Back to 1924, time when the cosmos was less understood, but no less marveled at. Earth and Mars were drawing near, and with that, ambitious, albeit quaint, by today's standards, an attempt to probe the red planet for signs of life was set in motion. It wasn't sophisticated rovers or orbiters in the modern era. Instead, the plan was to keep a listening ear for potential Martian radio broadcasts. Backdrop to this interplanetary eavesdropping was a world captivated by the possibilities that have all been dashed out today. It's funny to think, but 100 years ago, astronomers and scientists knew much less about the solar system. The idea that Mars was not just another speck in the sky, but a world teeming with life, perhaps even civilizations. Let me see if I can get into some of the... Idea was terrestrial radio transmissions should be hushed as much as possible, such that any Martian transmissions might be heard by radio operators. Citizens were urged to quiet their radio transmissions. What else here? Quite a lot of information. And modern day, today we understand much more harsh realities of Mars, its barren landscapes and thin atmosphere. And yet the search for extraterrestrial intelligence goes on with the SETI Institution. So kind of skimmed that article a little bit, but I was hoping that would be a little bit more radio heavy. But yeah, just a little thing on that. So,
by the way, if you're interested in amateur astronomy and space history and such like that, like this, one of my clubs that I'm a member of, the Dallas Amateur Radio Club, has an event every Saturday night, and they're on Echolink W5FC-R called Skynet, and they talk about amateur astronomy and space history and such like that. It's quite a cool deal. It would be at 8 p.m. Your time on Echolink on W5FC-R.
Wow.
So you guys are welcome to join into Skynet every week.
Awesome. Thank you. I'll have to look that up.
And one other net related to that, following that, since you talked about science fiction and transmissions from Mars and not knowing stuff, they do a movie review net every week called Afterglow Movie. That's at 10:30 p.m. Central, 9:30, and sometimes they do some wonderful 1950s sci-fi gems that you'd like as well. So that follows Skynet every Saturday night.
Oh, very cool. Thanks for bringing that up.
Hey, Drew, I'm going to take a moment here and show Tom how to change this. So, Tom, if you click here, I've got several profiles set up.
Okay,
hang on.
For instance, I can go into this profile.
Okay.
And do manage your Google account. And then you go in here to personal info. And this is where you modify your, however you want to identify yourself.
Well, I cheated. Can you see my picture?
Let me stop presenting here. Oh yeah, that's cool. I only see the OGQ though.
Oh, okay. So let me deal with that.
I do see AE0 OGQ.
Maybe it's because of the way I've got this tiled.
Perfect. There we are.
Oh, very nice.
Oh yeah, that's cool. How'd you do that?
I use a thing called OBS Studio, and it's a freeware that lets you bring various video and audio sources together, and then for this purpose, you can have a virtual webcam, so it looks like a webcam to some other application. So I can cheat all over the place.
It's a virtual camera, and it lets you, you can do several different sources if you have several different webcams, and you can switch between them, and you can have a virtual camera that does your computer desktop, or whatever too. It's kind of nice. We also use.
Orlin, you're looking good. Welcome. No audio. You're muted.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, 5x5.
Fantastic.
Jerry looks like the little Jesus, baby Jesus, with his overhead light glare in there.
Well, cool. We have like 3 minutes left. I'll just cover some club business, and then we'll.
I just can't imagine Jerry, the Halo.
Let's see.
Yeah, it doesn't fit very well, does it?
Let's see. Over on our website, lots of updates on there. Upcoming Hamfest, information on that. We have our DRC Saturday events under events. Our first one will be in April, I believe, April 27th, Build Day. So we'll send a link out to a kit that you can purchase, and we'll build that. And more information on our website. Hamfest coming up August 25th, so check that out. You can purchase tables or tickets if you'd like now. So that's about it on there. Siren tests, I believe, are pretty much canceled this year. So unfortunately, we won't be doing that this year, at least for now. At this point in time, we may be getting updates sooner, but the way that the sirens get triggered isn't working at the moment. So, yeah.
Question for Drone.
Yes, sir.
Can the DRC Saturday events be placed in the calendar on the roundtable? In those events?
I don't see why not. I will send that over to Brennan, who does that, and we will make sure that we get those in there. That is a good idea, actually, that we start to utilize that. So I guess the problem is it's just a monthly calendar. So, but we can do it for next month. That's for sure. Yeah.
I heard that suggestion from one of the members, so I just passed it on.
Good. Appreciate that. And thank you, Kevin, for taking the Sunday night bets. You seem to be getting a little bit more comfortable with it, so I really do appreciate that. If anybody's ever interested, taking net control operations is quite easy. You just type in a call sign and it gives you out everything you need. So it is just about 7 o'clock. If anybody has any last minute things, go ahead.
Did I just see that Bob Heil passed away?
Yes, that was a
February 28th, 83 years old. That's
which was unfortunate. Brave battle with cancer, so it is really unfortunate to see that. Yeah, but great contributor to the hobby, and yeah, so quite sad. It's nice to see the tradition, though, of silent key, appreciating people's lives and things like that. So, well, it's 7 o'clock. I'll throw it over to our club president, Jerry. If you want to cover anything, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Drone. My voice is kind of it's worse than usual. You already mentioned,
I'm going to drop
I think
the YouTube, and it'll start back up again.
The Lark Fest is coming up